Hey guys, so I am coming here today outside my house, which if you look behind me you can tell I live right off of a pretty busy street here. So what I'm going to try to do is bring you coverage of my lawnmower, and because I got my new Mammotion Luba 2 all-wheel drive 3000 HX. So like I said, out here in my front yard, we're going to try this with this camera and see how well it works. Still not sure what to expect. I'm recording my voice separately on my phone as well, because I'm pretty sure that the wind and the road noise is going to be terrible out here. So anyway, without further ado, let's dig in. Okay, we're back. All right. So again, this is all new camera equipment and stuff too, so I'm just trying to figure this out as I go. So thanks for your patience, guys. But basically, today we're going to be setting up this Mammotion Luba 2 all-wheel drive 3000 HX. And as I go through this process here, I'm going to probably take a couple of breaks because it is kind of lengthy. And then also, I do have to install my GPSs into this, in addition to getting the robot itself set up. So let's go ahead and open this guy up here. Now as I do this, you guys should be seeing exactly what I'm seeing. I ended up putting my baseball cap on and just clipping my camera to that because the pendant option for this camera didn't work as well. So that's that. All right. So I know a little bit about this mower already, so I know how to set it up and how to do it appropriately. I made a new spot for it, as you can see over here today. I actually decided to put it directly on a paver, and then have the water draining towards the house off of that paver so that it doesn't collect on the paver and potentially cause damage to the mower in the future. You're seeing my old RTK antenna from Boris when he was stolen, laying there. And let's get back to unboxing. So this tells you a little bit about the mower, just your quick start guide. Talks about bumper installation, what you need for that, and then talks about like how to hook up power and all that stuff. And again, I've been through this before, so I already know exactly what I'm doing here. So not too crazy. So I'm gonna pull this quick start guide off. We're just gonna set that aside for the time being. Hopefully it doesn't blow away. Sorry, I have to stop occasionally to farmer blow because I have allergies and it gets bad. Anyway, back to it. So looking at the mower, first off, when you open the box, after you remove that giant quick start guide, you're going to see the 3D vision module right down there in the corner. You've got the front bumper, and then you've got the top of the RTK antenna. Those are all really important things. 3D vision module is actually what helps to map the yard. It has a camera built into it, so you can actually stream your mowing. Hey. And then it's got also, you can see the mower up here. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, Coco. What's that? Oh, camera. Yeah, camera. And then I've got GPS units going in this. So, yeah. Was able to get it insured too, which is nice. So, thanks. But anyway, so you can see the power supply here. I'm not sure what this is. This might just be an instruction manual. Oh, you got your extra blades. And then it's your product guide, so kind of an instruction manual. But then, so we'll just toss that aside for now because we don't need it. This antenna goes on the RTK antenna. These are your keys that you plug into the back of the mower. One to keep, one to toss, I guess. Not toss, but just keep on hand. And then, what's this guy? This might be the cable for the RTK antenna. Yeah, so this is the accessory kit. Anyway, pretty big deal. Pretty much everything you see here is going to be used with the exception of the these stakes and things that won't be holding it into the grass. And it won't be holding it into the grass because we're putting it again on that landscaping block that's over that way. So moving on here, let's go ahead and put this accessory kit down and we'll work on getting the mower out. We're gonna go ahead and put these somewhere safe. We've got the antenna here, we got the screws for the blade replacements and the blade replacements. We'll set that over here with the product guide, and we'll get all this stuff pulled out so we can actually get to the mower. And actually I think what we're gonna do is just pull the whole top foam piece off, because that's gonna be the easiest way to do it. There we go. So you can see my old base is over there, kind of sitting in between my yard and my neighbors. And essentially it's not the same exact thing, but it looks a lot alike. The old base has that Mammotion on top, and it's still got the green light and everything for when it's charging. But then in addition, it has a different voltage that goes to it. And I believe it even has a slightly different power connector, if I'm not mistaken. The original that I had was a Mammotion Luba 1000 all-wheel drive. And so it's very, very different from what this is. So if you don't know, I decided to name this mower Hank. The last one, like I said, was named Boris, and he was very good, but Hank's gonna do a great job too. I just know it. So kind of like I said before, we're putting GPS trackers in this. In addition to, Hank actually comes with 4G on board, as well as GPS tracking on board as well. These guys here, shocked me. These are actually the rain sensors to detect moisture. And then you can see the top of the panel looks a little different from what Boris was, but I never did a video on Boris because, well, I wasn't really doing my YouTube that much at the time, so I guess you guys just missed out on that. Anyway, we'll pull Hank out of here and we'll work on getting him all set up. Ugh. I still don't understand how someone ran away with Boris, because these things are heavy. Boris was like, I want to say like 50 pounds or something like that. 42, something along those lines. Hank is definitely heavier and definitely harder to get to lift. So again, if you jacked my last mower and you're gonna come for this one too, just beware. I will find you, because there's a lot of ways I can find you now. Anyway, let's see here. So that's everything that was in the box, and it looks like the power cable for this is already pre-attached. So when I put Boris together, his power cable was not pre-attached. Actually had to open up this back panel here. Now this definitely feels a little more flexible than Boris too, than Boris's base did. Boris's base station was a little more, had a little more material to it. So it didn't feel like if you slightly pushed it, it would break. And again, guys, I'm really sorry about the audio. If it's really loud, really noisy, I can't help it too much. Like I said, I do live on a busy street, so not much I can do about it otherwise. Okay. So again, the base is slightly different. It does look like there's another panel here that pops off of the base. So let's go ahead and try to pop that off here. So it looks like it does. Maybe it doesn't. I'm a little curious where the GPS antenna plugs in. Since, oh, here we go. Here we go. There it is. They just had the cable shoved down in there. So this is where the GPS or power will plug in. I don't know which one it is. I'm guessing that this is the power, because this cord is very beefy. So also, as part of this, I now have a camera installed up there in the corner, new outlet down there in that corner. So I don't even have to worry about like burying a cable for this like I did with Boris. So it's gonna be better. Excuse me, 1 minute. Oh. Again, farmer blow, allergies, sorry. Back to it. Okay, so he has a basically a pretty easy setup. it's take the base station and position it. We'll get the power and GPS antennas run. The GPS antenna is, like I said, this guy right here. It's actually called the RTK antenna. And it's a fairly straightforward process. The GPS unit looks like it runs down to here because those seem to be the same ends that plug in together. And then the antenna here likely plugs into this slot right here. It's got like a plastic plug in it, or actually right here where it's just wide open. There we go. Alrighty, beautiful. That looks pretty good actually. Try to keep the plastic all contained to the box so it's not all over my yard here. Plastic and styrofoam. All right, so this is the pole for the RTK antenna here. And essentially the way that this works is you take the antenna and you're gonna fish the wiring for it down through the pole. You fish the wiring down through the pole like so. You take your cable, shove her in there. Maybe. This seems like it should be easier than it is. I know for certain it goes in there. I'll just pull that cap off and we'll push it down now. See if that works a little better. Yeah, it sure did. Okay, so yeah, you pull your cable down through the pole here. And then it is too beautiful of a day. The motorcycle drivers are out and honestly, they drive me nuts. Nothing against you motorcycle guys, but yeah, it's a lot. Especially when you're trying to make a video. Anyway, then you take your pole and you screw it on to the antenna. And you can see that I've got that down through there. Just like that. And then you're gonna take the other end of the pole. Remove that. And we'll stick the plastic and styrofoam back in the box. And then we'll take this and screw it together. And then in one of these sections, there is a fork. Like you can see on Boris's RTK antenna, there's a fork that goes in the ground. And technically it's supposed to go through the base station, but we're not gonna do that because the RTK antenna works better when it's mounted right out front, right next to Boris. So, hello. All the neighbors are pretty fascinated with this too. Just because I'm the only one in the neighborhood that's got a robot mower. So they really enjoy watching Boris / Hank do the work, because let's be honest, it's pretty fun to watch a robot mow the lawn. If you guys are ever interested in purchasing one of these, I'll put a link to where you can get one down in the description of the video, because these are awesome and they take a lot off of your plate if you're a busy person like I am, because like I run a business and I have social engagements and I have a wife that I love very much. So the last thing I really want to be doing is spending time mowing my complicated yard along a busy street, falling into the street like I used to. Also, because I have some allergies for the summertime, it works out a little better for me to not have to deal with that. So, all right. So again, antenna wire comes down like this, and we're gonna actually just stake this in the ground right over there. And then we'll hook it up to where Hank's box is gonna go. So let me get Hank's base over here. And we're just gonna set it right there, because that was the plan all along. And then Hank's cable, we'll just put right there, and the antenna will stay right where we used to have Boris's antenna, which is slightly out front. There's some rocks down here that I'm trying to work against here, staking this. And I'll probably plant some grass seed too, just because it kind of disguises things a little better. All this dirt that I dug up today, I got to do that. The accessory pack also, just so you guys know, will in fact clip the wire to the pole. I usually do that as one of my last steps for setting this up. And the reasons I do that is because I don't like getting out all the tiny little plastic pieces unless I have to right away. And you can see that end right there. It has a slight notch there. You just match it up with the notch there, plug it in, and then it should screw together pretty easily. Just like that. You can take the leftover cabling, put it back down into the base, and close the lid. And that's all she wrote. So that is the setup of the GPS antenna. Excuse me one second while I do another farmer blow here. Allergies are just the worst. Anyway, back to it. So you can see we've got the power cable right here for the base, and then it's just kind of sitting there. So what I'm gonna end up doing here is just, and I'm sorry about that too, is kind of winding this up a little bit, and then we'll put the power cable into the plug that's right there, just so we don't have to worry about, I don't know, things. Technically, this should probably be plugged in indoors, but I'm fairly certain that it's been made water resistant regardless. Pull that power cable out there. Put the plastic in the box, which also, if you ever have to send your Luba in for service, you want to make sure that you keep the box because they're going to ask you to ship it back in the packaging in which it came. And if you send it with a bunch of bubble wrap, you're probably going to void your warranty. So typically these have a 1 to 2 year warranty depending on the model that you get. So fairly typical, I guess, is what I'd say. Let's see what I can do about this outlet. I asked for an outlet that had a run for a cable, and it looks like it kind of does. But I don't want this to sit like this on top of the cable. That's the problem I'm having. People just like to go really slow past here sometimes. It's kind of creepy. You never know what's going on. Anyway, I don't really know how I'm going to go about doing this. Because I asked for a box that that has a hole in it so that the cable can just kind of sit there and not be super noticeable. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So we're just going to kind of set this here for now. And we'll open this box back up. Might have to drill a hole on this corner right here where this is, or just clip that corner and try to route the cable through there. Just because I don't want it sitting like that and then my outlet gets a whole bunch of water in it and things get shorted out and becomes a whole mess. This did end up being a pretty long cable in the end. Not that it matters, because like I said, got that new box installed right there. We're gonna take Hank's base and we're gonna plug her in. We'll see what we can do here. And I'm definitely gonna have to find a way to keep this clean. Because I don't like all the extra cable there. I might actually just get a really small tote and drill some holes in it and put all the extra stuff in there. Just store it out here right next to Hank. So anyway, that's the setup of the base. So basically at this point, I'm gonna take a quick break because I don't really want to show this part on video. I'm gonna install some GPS trackers in and on Hank, and that way, if he gets stolen, I've got redundant GPS tracking, and yeah, then I'm covered. So anyway, like I said, gonna pause here, and I will be right back with you guys as soon as I've got an update for you, and then we'll get Hank mapped out and we'll get him running. Okay, recording stopped for some reason, so sorry about that. But in addition to Hank having to avoid the flag there, there's some additional flags down here on the corner that I have to avoid, and I'm gonna try my best to keep those from becoming an issue. I'm actually gonna call my driveway guy and see if he's okay with me just pulling those so that I can mow without having to put them back. So anyway, that being said, Hank is technically fully installed now, and I'm really looking forward to first operation. And once I have an opportunity to map everything out, I'll do that for you in this video so that you can actually see everything working the way it's supposed to. One thing I might end up doing too, because another annoying factor about this is, even though the GPS antenna is directly next to Hank at the moment, you can see that the cable is just a touch short. And what I could do is pull the slack out from inside like this and just kind of let him hang there. But again, it doesn't really solve the problem. The problem being that cable is hanging there like that, and I kind of want it to be, I like it to go all the way down the pole and then straight across and up into Hank's charging base. So they did provide an extension to go with Hank for this, but again, it's like an extra 20 feet. So much like the charging cable that I have over there, we're gonna run into the same issue of, you know, I'm gonna have to find a place to put it that's semi-weatherproof. I might have to get a little box to put out here to keep it in, to keep everything kind of tucked away and safe. And like I said, I might just do kind of a mini tote that's waterproof, or just make a waterproof mini tote and put it out here, put a lid on it, and we'll just keep it out here and keep everything dry inside of that. But yeah, outside of that, Hank is charging. I'll get into the Mammotion app and set him up with my account. That way, nobody can actually steal him and take him and use him. Because until Hank is officially linked with my account, which again, we'll do here very shortly, he will be available to anyone to just take and use, and we're not going to allow that to happen. So anyway, thanks for watching this portion of the video. Next portion of the video is going to be a little different, just because it's going to be on my smartphone. It's going to be vertical in orientation, and potentially what I'll do is still record here, but then also record on my cell phone the setup process. So but otherwise, Hank is all set up. It looks great out here. My sister and her husband, my sister and her friend Tony come out here, and they've been maintaining the yard while I've been in between mowers, and I am very grateful for that. They do a great job. Hutch Mowing and Snow Blowing is what they are. So if you want to look up their business, just throw them a shout out here on the YouTube channel. But anyway, I'll be back shortly with a video, not with a video, but the next part of this video with actually setting up Hank. So I gotta call my driveway guy first though, and make sure that I'm okay to just go ahead and pull stuff, and then we'll go from there. Make sure this is actually recording this time, because I missed some footage earlier. So as you guys can probably see here, I'm on my phone as well as at Hank's charging station. I missed some footage earlier, so I'm going to make up some of that right now. Basically, earlier I did end up having to do an installation of the camera unit and that. which is the front bumper. And I stopped it because I stopped the video during that time because I didn't end up wanting anyone to see where I was putting the GPS trackers. I did put some internally inside Hank, but I didn't want anyone to find out exactly where. So you guys missed that part of the video, and for that I am sorry. But my explanation earlier was telling you what I did, and then I added those GPS stickers to him as well. So we're here at my phone now because the next part of this video is actually going to be showing you guys what I need to do in order to get Hank working. So I did talk to my driveway guy, and he did tell me that I was okay to go ahead and pull the flags for the driveway, so we did. That being said, let's go ahead and open up the Mammotion app here on my phone, and you're going to see maybe login expired. Please log in again. That's fine. I'm just logging in with my Google account here. And I'm going to blur out that information because it's all personal. So you can see Boris is offline. He's been offline for a while. Unfortunately, Boris, he's probably not coming back, but I'm not going to unlink him. I'll just set him as a secondary. But here you can see that I've got these devices are already here. So we're going to add this, and we're going to add this. These two different devices here. So the device that's showing there is my Luba, which is my Luba all-wheel drive 3000 HX, and it is loading in as we speak, and adding is successful. We're going to do the GPS antenna next. Maybe it's just going to add that automatically. I don't really know. Let's see here. I'm going to close this because I don't need that control there. It's really unfortunate where it's located too. So here is, okay, good on that. I don't want to exit the app, so what I'm going to do is go back here, we'll press add again, and then we got our GPS antenna, which has really good signal. We're going to add that in as well. That way it's in the app and we can use it to go in with Hank here. So this looks like it's trying to connect to my Wi-Fi currently. There's no problem. Loading. My Wi-Fi is it's not far away. I don't know what's going on here. My Wi-Fi is in the room right there. There we go. So we're going to connect to Gordon Wi-Fi. We're going to say, put in the password. Okay. I'm going to say that's good. And join. Again, that's really annoying that it's up there. Yeah, and I'm getting person at my front all the time because of the camera that we installed up there too. So I'm trying to keep Hank protected from everything. Just because, I'm taking all the security measures I can. Alright, so that's online. Hank is online, no task area found, and it's got 4G. We should probably hook Hank up to Wi-Fi, just so he can also have that. I'm fine with Hank being on 4G, but I'm also going to put him on Wi-Fi. And if he ever leaves, just go and do it. Goodness, I'm so sick of this thing being in the way. There we go. So one thing about the screen recording thing that sucks is it's never not in the way. Alright, here we go. Wi-Fi connected. So he's connected to the network. We're all good that way. So we'll go back. Everything's got a good 4G signal, good Wi-Fi, good Bluetooth, and we're at 100% battery. So now we're going to go and do the setup for Hank. No task area found. Charging station not located. The robot cannot return to charge automatically. Okay, well he's on the charging station, so I don't know how it's not located. In an open area free from obstructions. Do I not have the charging station powered on? I thought I did. Actually, I think I do. And it's definitely free of obstruction, so can't say I understand. We'll create a task area here. And maybe, I figured Hank was all hooked up to the charging bay, but maybe he's not, I don't know. Start mapping a task area. Let's do that. Click here to leave. Good on you, Hank. Let's do it. Alright, so I'm losing my camera recorder thing here. It's really annoying. Alright, so now basically what it comes down to being is I have to manually move Hank wherever I want him to go. And you don't have to do this. There is an automatic mapping, but for my front yard, I really want Hank to he's got a little bit of delay. Bluetooth is literally right here, buddy. I don't know why you're delaying. There we go. Boris was definitely easier on the Bluetooth connection. So basically the way that this is going to work is Hank is going to, this is being really annoying. Actually, I think I'm just going to take the selfie stick part off and just pull this out. Drop it in my pocket for the time being. That way I don't have to worry about this stuff. Alright. Okay, let's get this going. So anyway, Hank is off the charging bay. So we'll start mapping the task area. Accurately design the task area with the actual line. Please control the robot to the perimeter and initiate mapping. So we can do auto mapping if we want. But we don't want to. We want to map this because we're not, like, we don't have edges on both sides of the lawn. Like, over here is my neighbor's lawn that he just mowed, and over here is my lawn. So we have to say we're at the perimeter and actually have to mow it. Now, we could try the auto mapping, see what it does. Let's try an auto map. It's probably
mapping a task area.
Probably not going to work, but we'll let it try. Let's go. See what Hank will do here. Yeah, he doesn't want to. Please control the robot to drive along the perimeter for one circle. He doesn't want to auto map because he doesn't understand why he's at a perimeter. Yeah, straighten him out a little bit. There's a huge delay in his Bluetooth capability here, and that's actually kind of annoying. Because I gotta be able to keep him accurate on his path to walk him around the yard. Okay, now we leave 6 inches along the edge because if we don't, Hank will fall into the street, and we don't want that. Typically, if you're gonna map your robot mower, leave it 6 inches from the curb. I live on a hill. Not this direction here up against my truck, but on the other side, it'll fall down into the super busy street, and that's not what we want. So we're gonna just map him out here. And we gotta keep him on course. And I like to map this as one big area. And the reason I do this is because And he does nice stripes all over the place. And he doesn't treat it as 2 separate yards. And again, if he goes too fast, he tries to fall into the street. And that's not what we want. He's a little smarter than Boris in that he he shouldn't fall into the street because he's got that camera on the front that'll automatically view things. But again, how much should I actually trust that? You know what I mean? So keep on going with him. Again, we're going to keep that 6-inch barrier between us and the street here. Just because we need to keep Hank safe when he's mowing. A lot of times they'll use that extra space, that 6 inches, to back up and do your patterns and all that stuff. So I learned that lesson the hard way. Boris fell into the street a bunch of times, and I don't want him to get run over. You can look down my street here and actually see that there's quite a bit of vehicles here. We're going to give that sign a wide berth. I believe that's just a speed limit or no parking sign. So no parking from these hours to these hours. Again, widen that berth there, because we don't want Hank in the street. Keep that 6-inch perimeter there. And he slides back down the hill. And that's the one part about this that's a little challenging, is that he slides down the hill. So then we've got that. We're going to move him forward. We're going to turn him to the side here. We're going to make him go up, up, up. A nice tight turn this way. I don't actually like the way Hank sounds. He sounds a little cheaper than Boris. He's got some different parts in him, but God, I'm so sick of the traffic. But he really rattles. He really rattles. The building that's across the street here is an aerospace building called Collins, and they often have military. They do like aircraft stuff for the military, like cockpits and stuff. So pretty cool. But the military vehicle you just saw drive by that I nodded to was one of the Humvees that comes by here on a semi-regular basis. You see all kinds of cool stuff that comes over here, actually. So, and I am mapping this as an area. It's dirt right now, but it won't always be. There actually used to be a tree right here. So definitely want Hank to be able to mow all of this. There we go. Keep going, Hank. There we go. We're going to take Hank along the edge here. Right to there. Hank's very shaky. Again, I don't know how I feel about that. It feels... Hank's just feeling a little cheap. And I know he's not, but... there we go. That should be it. Have I not reached the... I need to drive forward a little further. This is the hard part when I did the first time too with the mapping. There we go. We'll save.
Task area mapping completed.
All right. So now it looks like it actually recognizes where his base station is too, which is great. So we will put him, we'll say return to base and confirm. We'll see if he makes it back. You got this, Hank. And one thing that's kind of cool is that this one actually talks. Boris did not. So that's a little different, I suppose. He's getting it all positioned. I love the paver. I think that that's actually a really cool, like really nice setup. I saw someone else did that on YouTube. So I was like, yep, I'm doing it too. Beautiful. Good job, Hank. And the other part about this is that you can do a camera view of Hank too. So if you want to watch him mow, you certainly can. And I actually find that pretty sweet. Now, one thing I want to make clear here is that you can also map what's called no-go zones. And if you're looking at my yard right now, you'll see that the no-go zones that I could set are my tree, my sign, my other tree, the fire hydrant, the electrical pole, and that would be it. But I want to see if Hank can actually avoid those on his own, because this new Mammotion Luba 2 all-wheel drive 3000 HX actually has object detection built into it, where it'll avoid obstacles in the yard. So without having to bump into it, unlike Boris, because Boris didn't have the camera on top, he was a Luba 1000. So anyway, that being said, that's it for this video. Hank is mapped to the yard, and he's going to do a great job, I'm sure of it. I had really good experiences with my first one. I don't see it going any differently for this one. So really all I have to do now is clean up that outlet there, get it so that I can run those cords through there instead of having it hang open all the time, because I don't like that. Get a channel going for it essentially for my cables to be there, which again shouldn't be too tough. I'll probably just take a pair of snips and clip that corner hole there and let them just hang out there. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this content, go ahead, like it, subscribe, and follow for more, because we're probably going to give you some updates on Hank and how he's done. And I'll probably show you a little more about his obstacle avoidance and things like that as we continue to use this new mower. Anyway, thanks again. Alright guys, we're sending Hank out for his inaugural mow here. Not sure where he's going to start, but he's getting it done. I'm not sure what the plan is actually. All I know is he'll get it done. He's incredibly quiet, which they usually are when they mow. They're pretty quiet. But The yard already looks great, so we probably won't see much of a difference in what he's doing. Okay, are we just going to start at a random spot here, Hank, or what? I guess. This road is so annoying. Motorcycles are the most annoying part of it. Not really sure where he's going. Doesn't sound like his blades are running. He chose to start up over here. Okay. Well, do your thing, Hank. I'm gonna get out of your way so he doesn't detect me as an object. Do your thing, Hanky. So cool. Again, just got to make sure he doesn't fall into the street. That's primarily why I'm over here. I got him pretty close on this perimeter sweep here. Should be coming up to here. I'm not really sure what the plan is here. It's going in kind of a random pattern. I have him set for a 45-degree angle, but Boris used to do 2 sweeps around the perimeter, and then he would do the angle mowing. Hank seems like he's just mowing in circles. Okay, well, I'll leave him to do his thing. I'm sure I'll figure it out.